Good evening. How are you all doing? And welcome back. A brief interlude there. The one ginger cockneys put a comment in. The Southern Softies. Yep, where are the Southern Softies? We are there or thereabouts. Who knows? So this is kind of a special episode because we're going to talk about our recent trips and is it worth it? Is it not worth it? What was the prices like? What was our favorite drams, favorite distilleries, and
Luke, is your internet okay, Luke?
Drams and not so favorite distilleries.
Luke, I think your internet's playing up a bit. Hey, Henry. Hey, David. Yeah, survived it. Easy enough. Whiskey. Beautiful. I'm assuming Luke is sorting out his internet. I reckon he's not using his Wi-Fi. So he's just going to get that sorted. But yeah, it was a good trip. We're going to go through some of the stuff. We've brought back plenty of whiskey with us. So we're going to try and record some things between us and potentially also do some lives with it as well. We do have some beers that we've brought back with us that we're going to have during this little chat here. Well, I think that's the aim. And he's back.
So for whatever reason, StreamYard kicked me out my own stream.
Yay!
Don't you just love it when that happens? Signal's strong, everything's strong. StreamYard. Cheers.
Except you're a Southern Softie.
Did you get the part where I said introduce yourself and all that, mate? Yeah.
Yeah, I went talking. Yeah, because your internet went really bad and then you disappeared.
Yeah, that was StreamYard just kicking me. Like now, I had enough of your wobbling on for a bit, mate. So
it was like, we had enough of you on your live earlier. We're not handling you now again, are we?
So yeah, I don't know how much of that last one you got. So
no.
Did you not get the bit about where I was saying about good distilleries, bad distilleries, good drums, bad drums, and everything in between?
You're mixed with your Teesside accent, which cuts out half the letters in a word, and then add in StreamYard cutting out every other word. I mean, it wasn't that easy to work out what was going on.
So, I can't start all that again. It took me about a minute and a half before I figured out it kicked me. But literally, we're here to talk about the Scotland trip and our Whisky Road Trip and the good bits, the bad bits, price points for anybody else that is looking to go up to Islay, Campbelltown, and kind of do the same journey that we did.
Recommendations along the way as well, and yeah,
and as well as that, we've also got 2 beers to review, and maybe a sneaky dram at the end. Who knows? There will probably be more than a sneaky dram, or 3 or 4.
I've got no grams up here with me at the moment, but it also depends on what time the missus comes back. The missus, yeah.
Yeah, the imaginary missus.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a lot of whiskey up here, so I'm kind of good at that point. After the Saka, that I had on that last one. What beer are we going to delve into first, mate? So
I say go lower ABV. So the Blue Islay, Lockendale.
Yeah. So we've got. I'll boost this up large screen if I can. Islay Ales, Lockendale. Here's the IPA. 5%. It's 4% actually. 440 mil. We couldn't actually find these on the island because apparently they're the changing location, changing venue. I don't want it that large. Nobody needs to see Liam.
They're not actually brewing on the island at the moment because they're building their new place. Is it down by Port Ellen they're building?
I think so. Yeah. Port Ellen.
So we went to the Whiskey Vaults where we picked these up on Isla, and that's where they originally were brewing, which is fun enough. That was their original location they used to be at, but they left that, I don't know, 2020, 2021. Then I don't know where they're brewing at the moment, whether they're, contract brewing elsewhere or I don't know, but they are coming back to the island soon, aren't they? But Lockendale is not their main one. So this is like the biggest one is what we've got second, but Lockendale is their hazy IPA. So what does it say? American and Australian hops and like a misty day on Lockendale.
Yeah, and Lockendale is actually the lock on Isla. So some people might say Glen. So if it's a Glen, it's more mainland. So your Speyside area, they call their bodies of water glens. In Kintyre Island, all that, they call it locks. So just a little bit of pointing out there. Yep. I don't know if Liam's vigorously trying to focus on pouring that and not getting another pour.
No, I haven't even opened it. I was just reading at the bottom to see what it says because they still list their address in Isla, but then it says brewed and canned in Scotland on behalf of Isla Ales. So it is definitely not on the island at the moment, but they don't say who or where. But yeah, I was just reading to see what it said there. So how much were these again? Was it £4 a can?
I think they're about $4.80. What you told me, Matt. You bought these ones, so
I know. I can't remember. You lot went for whiskey. I went for beer there, didn't I? Because it was going to be a beer day, so I thought I'm just going to stick to beer the whole day. So
I mean, that's it in the glass. I'm using an Origins glass. I probably think Liam will be using the same.
No, I'm not using Origins glass. Your colour looks better than mine, just light-wise that you've got. But yeah, it's hazy for me. You can see that on my one.
Yeah.
They look like two different...
I mean, I can see... Yeah, I can see through it all right. In fact, I mean, I can even see you through this on the StreamYard, so that's kind of not as hazy as maybe it should be. I don't know.
Mine is quite hazy. I can't see through to the other side. I can see if I put my finger, but I can't see through it. So yeah, two completely different cans then. But then don't forget mine's yours is rested in the fridge while mine had to be carried around on my back all the way down to London again on Sunday.
Yeah.
But it's been in the fridge since then, but yours has had longer to settle. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
It does look like two different beers, right? Yeah.
I'll just get the rest of this can.
I'm gonna just change.
Maybe the bottom of the can may make it a little bit more hazy, but I'm down to that point.
I've got nothing left in my can. Ooh.
Oh, actually, it has made it slightly more hazy, but not by much.
Yeah.
But
yours is hazier now.
Yeah.
We changed the lights a bit. Cool.
Are we going for a nose, mate? Are we nosing it first? Oh, it smells hoppy.
Yeah, it's just a big hoppy nose. I think I had this one. Yeah, this is the one I drank there. From what I remember, it was really good. But then first beer of the day always quenches your thirst, and you're like, oh yeah, that was good. Whereas this isn't the first beer of the day now.
It could be a Carlin for the first beer of the day, and it always tastes brilliant, doesn't it? So
no. Cheers all.
Cheers, mate. Cheers everyone in chat and those that may watch afterwards.
Oh, that is lovely. I would say turn the carbonation down a little bit on it, but It is. That is lovely. The fruit flavors on it. It's like sort of mango I'm getting off it. Oh, that's nice.
Mango, grapefruit, a little bit of citra. You know what? I don't mind the cabinet. I think this carbonation was better than the Fine Ales pale that we had. Or
Yeah.
what was it? Sunflower, something to do with sunflower.
The one that we had on keg, wasn't it? Yeah, because the cask ones weren't. Yeah, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, this is really nice. I just feel like take the carbonation down a slight little notch, and it'll be good. So, as this says on the back of the can, like it's to do with the lock at the heart of Islay. I mean, Islay is surrounded by water, isn't it? And the best part about most of the distilleries is that they are based on vantageous points around the coast, aren't they? So you get brilliant views out of them. It's a shame that with some of the older ones on the south, you don't really get any view in any of their tasting rooms. So if we think about Llangollen and also when we went Ardbeg, there was we're inside an old warehouse building, but we don't have the view of anything around it. Whereas the newer ones have, or the redesigned ones that have been developed since, have given you brilliant viewpoints. So I really, Kalila, amazing views. Absolutely.
I'll try and get some photos. I'll try and add some photos to the brand, to the StreamYard. Then we can maybe
talk through and go through things. Yeah, sounds good to me. But
I'll just knock my noise off this one because this will go loopy.
Loopy. Oh, that's nice. That is really, really good. I didn't look to see how many other ones they do. So, Islay-wise, we've seen they do a lager and they done the wheat beer, but I wasn't too interested in either of those. The lager was a pilsner, I should say. They do a pilsner, Czech inspired, it said on it. And then the wheat beer was just a hard pass from me at that stage. I'm not really too into my wheat beers at the moment. Just over the years, too much wheat. Not good. You're nodding and you're laughing. What pictures are you loading there then? Yikes.
I want major echo.
Echo.
So they're all just currently uploading, coming through.
Okay.
Echo.
I was just double checking the ones that you've currently put up because you've gone as far as all the way, haven't you? Yeah. Fine now.
So
that's your favourite site, isn't it? I can tell you straight away what that is. We're looking across to Jura, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. What is that?
We're looking over to the Paps of Jura. Stunning location, absolutely stunning. You can't fault it for that. However, they need to be very clear with accessible and
in Kalila. This
kind
is
of roots in, and this is Kalila.
Yeah. So Kalila
I don't know if
they done up their visitor centre, didn't they? So the old visitor centre is gone. It's become like they done up their distillery and all the rest, and that's where the visitor centre used to be. And they moved the visitor centre into part of their warehousing. so one of the original warehouses, and the visitor centre is on like the top floor, the third floor, but they don't have a lift in action because it's been out of action for how long? Months, is it?
Yeah, it's been about 4 months, 5 months, which is a pain in the rear. But then you kind of like, after thinking about it, it's like it is on an island. Many ferries were cancelled through the winter by Captain Cautious. So yeah, it's kind of, so it kind of like, it shows that even just to get a lift maintained, it's a lot of hard work before anyone's even looked at it, especially if you need to reorder a part or anything else.
So the person would have to come out, the lift engineer is not on there, they have to call out, get there, then they have to see what's wrong, order the parts, then go back and then have to come out and fit it, don't they? But I mean, Kalila, I liked the shop at the top. It was really nice in a sense. So you had the shop and you had tables for tasting, but then behind the bar, it's down about like 8 steps. There's some seats, booth seating that's looking out over across to the Paps of Jura. And if you get a good day, I mean, we were very lucky because the weather's on and off. So it had just been pouring down with rain, and then the rain cleared out and gave us like that stunning view over where you had like the turquoise in the water. And we were just sat there having some drams, looking out across this. It was amazing.
Yeah, so that there's the view directly from the Kalila tasting area, the little booth that we were sat in.
Because they opened the windows.
Stunning views, absolutely. Yeah, they opened the windows. Liam mentioned the kind of the shop waiting area. That's kind of one view. It is very modern what they've done. They just need.
It's modern, but I know it sounds weird, but the door on the left-hand side, through that door, is actually the warehouse, the top floor where they've got loads of casks. And then it goes on, like there's a partition, but then there's another part of the warehouse just behind it. I don't know how far back it goes, but it's quite a big building. So the visitor centre is just a small little sliver on it, isn't it? But I actually quite liked it. It was very modern and spacious, unlike some of the older ones there. And these are the ones that we tasted, isn't it? Well, I say the ones that we tasted, the left one we can explain after, but these were all distillery exclusive batches, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, so we had, they weren't too bad, actually. I've actually got a list. It means I've got to lose me StreamYard for a bit. So Kalila, so on that flight tasting that we did, I think it was £20 for the flight.
And tour.
Or something like it. Yeah, that tour and the flight tasting. So there was the Kalila Distillery exclusive, the Distiller's Edition, the 10-year-old hand-filled distillery exclusive.
Yeah.
And then there was the Johnny Walker Double Black. Yeah,
but the Johnny Walker wasn't Johnny Walker as such, was it? It was done as a cocktail. But I wouldn't really even call it a cocktail. It was just lemonade, wasn't it? Lemonade and a double measure Johnny Walker.
Yeah, it was very weak. After which we also had the Kalila Mock. I really did not like that one.
It was. I thought it was okay, but it probably was the weakest out of the ones that we had. The other ones were much better, but wasn't one of those Distillers Edition was mock that then was barrel aged into something else or finished in something else, wasn't it? So it says when you look through it does something then somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that was the Distillers Edition. Now the distillery exclusive Kalila was amazing. That was a great dram. I think all three of us agreed on that one, and we said how good it was. It wasn't, but a tour plus 3 grams and a highball cocktail.
So the tour, just to
isn't
say,
bad for it.
the tour was slightly different than normal distillery tours, because what they tried to do was they tried to go along that whole sensory element to begin with. It was okay. They gave you some smelling things where they're like, oh, these are the sort of scents that you'll get when you taste these whiskies later. So they'd like a sea salt and other things like that. You just sniff it, they explain about it, and then you sit down and watch like a screen, and there's a 3D map, and it's pinpointing on different bits, and it talks about the history of whiskey, coming from Ireland to Islay and whatever else. And then they take you down to the distillery. So they take you out to the other building, over to the distillery, which has the best views of a distillery ever. I mean, you're there with the 4 stills, and you can look across massive glass panes. So the massive glass windows they've got there, and you can just see Jura. And we were lucky because, I say lucky, they weren't distilling. Normally it'd be really hot in there if they were distilling. You wouldn't really want to hang around for long, but they weren't distilling. They were still cleaning. So the washbacks were being cleaned out and everything. And we went in there and we, took loads of pictures and videos inside it. It was, amazing. I've got footage of that, which I will be editing and putting up on my channel. Yes, I will, Luke. This time next year, watch out for it.
So this was the Kalila. So this was the 10-year-old hand-filled bottle. I think this was on sale at £155, I think, per bottle.
This was the one where it was on the big dispenser, wasn't it? They had the thing.
Yeah.
Pull your own. So they had the barrel there, and
And then while
Liam
was on his tour, I also took in a Clynelish 16-year-old at 49.3%, a Glenkinchie 16-year-old 50.6%, a Cardew 16-year-old at 58%, and a Kalila 14-year-old at 53%. They were called, they were the 4 corners, which is kind of the second one down. I know that's hard to see, but that was kind of more like the cask strength, or the older age statement ones, which were good. They were good. I actually preferred them over than the Kalila offering on the tour flight. I mean, I kind of get why Jack Daniels was there for a bit, but not Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker. But it just really didn't match what Kalila were offering at that point.
But I liked Kalila, I would say. I liked the views and how it all was. Whiskey-wise, it was okay, but I wouldn't say anything was, stand out that I would want to buy a bottle beyond like the standard 10 or 12 at that stage.
Yeah.
The cask strength weren't, the special editions of the cask strength ones weren't ones that went, oh, I want this. They were good, but not something I was going to go out of the way and pay that price level for. Even though we had a discount with the tour on it, I still probably wouldn't have paid that level for their distillery exclusive bottles.
Yeah. And that was, I don't know why StreamYard makes it so thin.
It's fine. That is the view from inside the distillery. So they're the stills, and in between the stills, you can look out and see Jura and the sea right there. And this is the windows all the way, so you got all 4 of them, and then just glass the whole way. So beautiful view. The people that work there, there's an actual like gallery thing higher up where they're in a glass container, so they've got their own little viewing area where they're keeping an eye on everything that's going on with the stills. But they also, because they're higher up, they only have the smaller parts of the stills blocking their view, so they get a view across Jura the whole time. So they see the bad weather and the good.
And then from Kalila on the first day, we then went on to my favourite of the island, Bunnahabhain. This place I really enjoyed. So here's just a couple of photos from Bunnahabhain.
Oh yeah. So on this is something that we've got coming up, haven't we? There is the tasting video, which again, that's going to be on my channel. See, everything that we say is coming up really is me just not editing it or putting it together.
Cool.
So we've got the tasting of that, which we've done in the little visitor centre. So I would say it's just a little shop right at the front that you go into, isn't it? Not much space, a few tables. But again, you've got a view out your window across the Jura. But there was currently a big rig thing there that was waiting in bay, wasn't it, until it could go to the port to dig up, because I think they're getting bigger ships in, aren't they, to Isla? So they need to dig out some of the ground underneath in the port to make it fit bigger ships. So it was blocking the view. It was sat there. As you look out your window, you're like, oh, there's Jura, but there's a rig in the way.
Yeah, which it did spoil the view, but the actual offering from
it was brilliant.
Bunnahabhain was amazing.
And we got an extra one as well that we haven't yet had. But yeah, they were the ones that were on.
So we won't say too much because Liam's actually got a video to put together. But we were on the cask strength tasting, and well worth it. Well worth it if anyone's looking at going to Bunnahabhain for a tasting, basically.
I would say the only thing to think about when going there is, for your booking, just try to not book when a ferry is going, because a lot of people come by and just visit because they're like, oh, it's nearby, let's quickly stop by there. Because after we finished filming, we went to the warehouse, and then when we came back, the place was rammed and it was last orders. Everyone just quickly trying to buy stuff before they head off to a ferry at that stage. So it was a case of, we got it at the perfect time. We were there and it wasn't absolutely busy at all, was it? So we had the place to ourselves. We're able to film without, about 20 people pouring in.
Yeah, and the people that were in the background that we caught on the camera, afterwards, I mentioned to them and they said, yeah, not a problem. We're not bothered about that, as long as it's not a porno.
I'm just going to put your face on them in the background, so it's just going to be lots of Jean-Luc's. Jean-Luc Picard. Yeah, Jean-Luc Picard. Luke John's bobbing around in the background.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Wilson. Hi, Disco. Angie, darling.
Darling.
Cheers, Liam, she says. Yeah, so, and while Liam and cameraman were out doing their bit, I was very lucky to have 2 drams of this 17-year-old triple cask Moyne, which was outstanding, 52.6%, and yeah, it kind of matched what we had in that cask strength tasting.
I think the big thing to mention about it is that's unpeated, isn't it, as well? So all but one were unpeated.
Yeah, and I think if I can say, Kalila was very Johnny Walker centric sales impression. It was kind of a very sale oriented place. Bonehaven and was it the Viking? So he's actually on YouTube. He gave Liam the card.
Oh, the guy that worked there. Sorry, I thought you went.
Matt the Viking or something.
Yeah.
Or Martin. Straight away at Bonehaven, it was relaxing, friendly. They were up for a chinwag. But I kind of like, even when it got really busy, there was more stuff that came in and they were all the same. Like, I felt really comfortable at Bonehaven. And
so
I mean,
we couldn't get you out of there.
Well, yeah, that is true. We were the last ones out. But it was just that kind of place. I think the staff, I mean, all the staff on the island were great, but some of there, you can tell, sales oriented, and then others are kind of there because they really enjoy being there and really loving what they're doing. So, Disco says, just took my first pint of Japanese knotweed sour up the brewery. That's a story for a different video, Slancher.
Yeah, that one would be interesting.
I had some sake.
No, you had a weird combination mix, didn't you?
I did. It made the beer bearable, but
so I think
So
we only went to 2 distilleries on the first day because, I mean, we arrived for the first one literally opening time, didn't we? Kalila. We were there as the staff were pulling in. That's how early we were. And then for the second one, we were there till kicking out time. But it's just we, spent a bit of time, didn't we? I think, did we actually head back and check in and then quickly come back again? I can't remember now in my head. I think
we just went in, seen the car park and thing, and turned around. And
But that was before. Yeah, that was before. Yeah, so we popped down to the town where we were staying, Beaumere, and then we went back and done the 2 distilleries. So 1 distillery to next distillery and then back. And then we done our live with beer, didn't we?
Yeah. Later on the night, because obviously Saturday, Sunday, and the previous nights, we had no Wi-Fi or very lack of Wi-Fi or anything of that matter. But that was good. What I will say is, though, we found, especially I found on the island and booking places, was the distilleries don't help each other out.
The timings.
So the timings do not help anybody out visiting the island because you kind of, if you're in a stretch of 3, which most of them are a part of, apart from Kilorman and Bruichladdich, the others are in 3s, soon to be 4 on the south of the island. But they really need to work on the timings better because you could have a group of tourists going to all 3, 1-to-1-to-1, and picking up on all of that money and everything else that goes with it. So they kind of let themselves down a little bit by not talking to each other.
I would also say, for some of them, it's potentially not necessary to do the tasting or the tours. Do a tour if you haven't been around a distillery before. Go on a tour, and you can choose obviously from modern Kalila to older Lafroig or something like that. You can do a tour, that's fine. But a lot of them, I would say, it's probably easier just to rock up and buy a flight. It's just easier. You're not limited by what may be on the tour. So the tours are either the core range or cast strength. There's no sort of 2 ways about it. But the idea is if you were a group of people, you might not all want to do cast strength, or you might not want the core range because we've had them all before. But they always chuck in a distiller's edition on that core range as well, don't they? But Yeah, I would say, I know we'll get on to the other ones in a bit as well. And they were a bit, overall for the experience. I mean, I went Brooklady the next day. And
I
that was
did
a
not.
really good one. No, you were doing your coffee morning. we
Yeah.
done the breakfast. We filmed the breakfast. That took longer than expected. The breakfast in the morning, didn't it?
Just a tad.
Tad long. So we managed to get the food down us and quickly run out in time for the tour. But we've taken them as driver's drams, and that's something we're going to record. But it
Yeah.
wasn't a tour; it's a tasting in the warehouse. And the warehouse tasting, I would say, if you're going to do one, that's probably one of the better ones for me. They afterwards let us wander around the actual warehouse and look at all the different casks that they had and see what ones they've got going. The ones that they gave were really good. I had just small samples of them all, and then the rest went into my driver's pack so that I can go through with Luke. Yeah, it comes in a lovely box.
Comes in a box.
The best thing about it is, for the car strength, they get volunteers of the people to actually pull the actual whiskey out using the old, I'm going to call it spivet or whatever. I don't know what they actually call it, the wooden thing. And then they come and actually put it in. So one of our group volunteered to do that, along with 2 other people for the other casks as well. So the 3 casks there, they were really good. And it's a nice mix. So on that one, we've got peated, unpeated, and then heavily peated, I would say. Beyond heavily peated.
Beyond heavily, yeah.
But that one's got a twist on it, though, as well. But we will have a video of that. So we're hoping to record that and then put that out. But that's Brooklady. But I would say the warehouse tasting is probably one of the better ones. I've done warehouse tasting at, I think it was Lefroy, and it was like a small damp warehouse. You weren't allowed into the full area. You're only in a certain part of it. Again, with Cleela, when they took us to the warehouse, we were only allowed to be near the front, and they let us smell different whiskies that were in the casks. I thought we were going to do tasting. I was like, oh, yeah, brilliant. No, you're just smelling these, because it was a sensory tour, as I said. But Brooklady, they were really nice. The woman that was doing it was great, and she was there drinking with us.
Yeah. Craig says another recap. This one's of the entire trip. This one, Craig. The other one was a channel update and find out where food videos and everything and all that heading. So I do have that I'm currently putting up. So the following day, the Tuesday, so obviously it was Brooklady on the morning.
We done whiskey vaults that day, where you tried they never say where it comes from, do they? But you tried a 5-year-old whiskey, didn't you? That was really nice. That was just cozy, sat up there. So the concept behind this was the guy had a big collection of whiskies that he'd just been collecting over the years, wasn't it? And then he's decided, do you know what? I can open a shop and sell these.
Yeah. So I had this 5-year-old dram, which was actually, we all had one.
Slightly different. Each of them were different.
Slightly different. Yeah. But obviously I hopped and went for
ignore the descriptions. The descriptions aren't correct either, because you changed 2 of them, didn't you?
I changed 2 of them because I'd already been to Kalila and I changed out with Lefroy, just because I want to try. What did I change it for? Did I change it for the?
I don't know.
I think I changed it for a Boonhaven, which was good. The Whiskey Vaults isn't a distillery, but it's a tasting room, where before you actually go and buy a couple of bottles. I mean, most bottles there were kind of pricey. They weren't like your run-of-the-mill type of thing. So if you wanted something special, then the whiskey vaults were kind of that place to go. That wasn't too overly priced. I didn't find a lot of them. They weren't overly expensive.
They had a lot of rare and exclusives, didn't they? But alongside that, the big thing they were sort of pushing was their own bottled ones, which were limited bottles. I think the one that you had, it said like only 20 or 30. So that was bottle 20 or 30, but they only made 30 bottles overall. So one of them is used for tasting and drinking. And it was a welcome gift, wasn't it? Don't think we paid for it.
Welcome gift.
I don't remember. Yeah.
And just for disclaimers purposes, family have got something to do with it, but that's about as much as it goes into it. I've got no say. I've got no say in it.
I really liked it. The upstairs was great. It was just calm, nice.
I mean,
going.
Who wouldn't enjoy a couple of drams just sat there?
Yeah.
Winding away a couple of hours. Later that night, we ditched the whiskey and we went for the pizza review that you've all seen.
Yeah. I mean,
scallop pizza, Isla scallop pizza.
Yeah, the scallop pizza, apart from that horrendous greenery,
I loved it.
I mean, presentation-wise, it was like just all lumped in the middle and we had to separate it out a bit and it was cut into fours. But aside from that, that was really nice. I really liked it. There was a salty element to that scallop that really went well. This, on the other hand, travesty. No.
I enjoyed it. I mean, the pineapple chunks were bigger than Liam said, but yeah, I mean.
But it's sort of, because the pineapple chunks were so big, it overpowered any ham. So the idea is you'd have to eat the pineapple chunks first and enjoy them, and then go and eat just a ham pizza. That's what I ended up doing, because if you put the pineapple and ham together, because there's such massive chunks, you got no flavour from it.
Well, we did a full review video of both of them, and Isla scallops for the win, I think, at that point.
There were some other ones on the menu, like they had their black pudding and haggis and whatever. But I mean, by then I had black pudding rolls for breakfast 2 days on the trot, I think. No, I had black pudding rolls and then a full breakfast. I just had haggis and black pudding constantly, it felt like, at that stage. Played havoc with the stomach, to say the least.
That was mainly because we'd had a lot of haggis and black pudding at that stage. I didn't mind it. I mean, I really want to try out the black and red that they had, which was black pudding and caramelized onion and goat's cheese. I thought that really sounded good, but as Liam said, we'd had a big breakfast that day as well.
Yeah,
I mean, Liam ate out of a bowl, which was
like a trough. I ate out of a trough because we didn't have enough plates at that stage. But no, he brought some extra plates around, didn't he? Because he said the previous people had broke them. So he'd knocked and said that in the morning when we were cooking. So that's fine.
I'm just trying to get. So before we move on to the next one, how's that beer tasting, mate? While I'm looking for.
I finished the beer. I really liked it. I remember, like I said, I had it in the whiskey vaults there itself, and I just thought it's that perfect soft fruit level all the way through. So it's not overpowering. It's just a really nice, delicate, soft fruit. So I was saying, like, that the mango element is there. I really like that sort of mango tone all the way through. Yeah, I think it's really good. Now I'm wondering, because I don't think I've had Finlagen, which is our next one. And I'm interested to see what that's like, because this was the hazy IPA, the sister to it. Interesting to see what the Finlagen is.
Well, what I'm going to do before that is it won't do it. StreamYard's playing up again. I really wanted to show the footage of the drone shot from Lagavulin.
But that's the next day.
I tried to upload it. It's just not having it. StreamYard's like, no. So in that case, cheers, Jugman. Juggers the Shaggers is in. We put Stella, got some good flavour. It does. I actually had 3 bottles of it earlier on a private stream with the Philby. For £1 a bottle. Yeah,
I think Stella, just to say, Stella Unfiltered is better than Stella because it's the original ABV, or it's at least the higher ABV, whereas normal Stella now is, what is it, 4.6 they've reduced it down to, whereas Unfiltered is at least 5, maybe 5.2. Yeah.
So I'll finish this Lockendale off.
Lockendale, yeah. But yeah, Lockendale, I really like that. I don't know where you can find these. Like I said, we found them just, I think they stock them in Spa in the area, the Spa shops. And then we never went into a Spa. We were Co-op loyal. We were Coop loyal, weren't we?
Coop.
Yeah. We were loyal to the Coop.
It wasn't even Co-op anymore at that stage. It was just Coop.
It was the Coop. Even when we went to Campbelltown, we had the Tesco's. No, Coop all the way. There we go.
Coop all the way. So I should have had all this done, but obviously StreamYard will only allow so many overlays and stuff to be uploaded at any one time. So kind of like just going with a StreamYard flow at the minute. So the following day, and our last day on Isla,
went to the
kind
south.
of had, we only had one booked in, which was a Lagavulin sensory tasting. But I mean, this one's Lagavulin.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it was great. You know, location-wise, fantastic. Building itself was great.
Undergoing refurbishment, wasn't it?
Cheeky little selfie of me. Look how handsome I am.
6-year-old in the background.
Lagavulin 26 in the background.
Yeah.
But then we moved on to kind of the sensory tasting. This is kind of where it was let down a little bit. Kind of really wasn't worth the money. I mean, it was worth the money in the sense that we had 5 decent Lagavulins, but
we'd had 3 of them before. I'd had 3 of them before, so for me, it's a case of if I was doing this would be a case of a place where Llangollen doesn't have a massive range. Their range is quite small in what they have. So if you've had some of their core ones, you know, the 16, if you've had that, then if you're going there, you should only really just probably go to the bar area and buy some drams of the distillery edition ones, because the bottles cost a lot, so it's worthwhile just getting a taste of them and seeing what they're like. But yeah, I didn't enjoy the tour. Not the tour. I didn't enjoy the tasting.
Everyone says it took us a week to recover. We're still recovering.
Are we? I feel good. I feel good. I mean, I when I came back on Sunday, I just crashed and went to sleep because I hadn't slept properly the whole week. But yeah, I went to bed early again on the Monday. But then after that, apart from sleep, all good.
What I will say is, if anyone's planning on going up to Isla and doing like what we've done, is do not book too many things in. It was kind of great because we wanted to get round and obviously get content, and we've brought quite a few things back to review ourselves. But for me, it kind of like took away a little bit of the charm of Isla. you know, that kind of like time to just decompress and really enjoy a dram. And this is kind of like what I was saying about the distilleries not being communicating better with each other about time wise and stuff like that, because you want to sit down and enjoy a dram, and they're kind of like, oh well, we've got these drams and you're going to do this taste and it's going to take you 1 hour to drink all of them. But actually, in that 1 hour, we're going to talk for half an hour and then just give you half an hour to sit back and enjoy it.
Difference. Like Kalila and Bunahar, we weren't pushed at all. We weren't pushed at all on them. We were allowed to sit there as long as we wanted afterwards. We even got extra drams and that. It was easy going. Whereas Llangollen, they would let us stay in there for a bit, but it was the whole idea that because it was sensory tasting, they were saying, oh, try a bit of fig with this and try some sugar with this and salt with that. And it's like, sort of, yeah, thanks. Now I've got salty whiskey. Thank you. Just what I wanted. So it wasn't, it wasn't the best. But also, I'd say I'd had 3 of them already. So there was only 2 new ones to me. And I wouldn't have really paid that price. I think it would have been go for a dram. Talking of going for a dram, we did go to Ardbeg. And we had no booking there at all.
StreamYard's just playing up at the moment, so
I can tell.
StreamYard's just having a little dicky fit. So if I'm in and out or whatever, yeah, it's kind of StreamYard's kicked me out twice now. So
get the hint, Luke.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went to Ardbeg afterwards, didn't we? A really big distillery, but again, you go into a shop and restaurant tasting room that is in one of the warehouse buildings. No view, it's just the building that you're in at that stage. We got some food, didn't we? Lunch.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Lunch at Ardbeg was probably my best meal of the week.
I got dessert. I didn't go for food.
I went for a kid's portion of mac and cheese, and honestly, it's the best mac and cheese I've ever had. I don't know if they laced that kid's portion with Ardbeg, but whatever they did, it was which kind of tells you something, that when you're there for a distillery tour, when you come up talking about how great the food is over the drams, it's kind of a little issue.
Ardbeg was the one where we had, I would say it was one where the descriptions were the most bullshit sort of description tastings that they listed, isn't it?
Cheers, Jim. Yeah, they were kind of like crushed sea salt in the Mediterranean desert of an opioid pandemic and shit like that. And it was like, oh, piss off.
Yeah,
you get a little bit of honey, a little bit of caramel, and that's about it. But they were like,
it's a bit like the wine reviewers, isn't it? Where they go off on a story of what it tastes like, and it's nothing like that at all. But also, I was disappointed in some of them. They weren't overall amazing, I would say.
Yeah.
But price-wise, they were decent for the price.
Yeah, at that point, price-wise, it was good, but we weren't necessarily there just for the price point. We were there to try and have some decent drums. And although it was kind of their core range that they give us, it was kind of a bit weak. I mean, we had the Curry Vecken, which was the last one. Now it says nose creosote. Oh, we love a bit of creosote. Linseed oil, black currants, and muscovado sugar, with the taste of smoked bacon, peppered steak, dark coffee, and a bit of almond, with a finish of chocolate cherries and hot sauce. Was it bollocks? It was nothing of the sort. I don't know if our palate was just totally gone by then, but a lot of them were like Christmas cake in a glass, chocolate coated raisins with pine needles and walnut oil.
I
It's
think,
like,
to be fair, going through it all, wasn't it? The worst part was, I think we went from best to worst tasting. So the 10-year-old and the Wee Beastie were the first ones we had, and I felt they were the better tasting ones out of them all.
Yeah.
So there was 5 in total, wasn't it? And yeah, it was yeah.
I apologize if I can't read out. There's just a lot. But we went from Ardberg to probably. Now I said how much I love Boonhaven, and now we only got a very short period of time, mainly because somebody was out taking photos of his cockles on a beach.
Not me.
Liam.
Not me. I was helping help the aged. I was there for them.
Yeah, it was there to take photos of other people's aged cockles on a beach. Balmore, what can we say about Balmore? Fantastic.
Amazing. It was great. Our flight was upgraded slightly. So we got was it 12, 15 and 18, but the 18 was upgraded.
Yeah. So they ran out of
was it 10, 15 and 18 or 12, 15 and 18? Wait, let me find a picture.
10, 15 because I had the free 12.
No, you had the free 10. Yeah, so it was the 12, 15 and then an 18, but the 18 was the festival edition one from the previous year, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Fish Isle.
Yeah. 2023.
Which came in at £200 a bottle. So I'm kind of happy that they upgraded it because there's no way I was going to pay £200 for a festival bottle. But I think the price was so high on that because they'd run out of
normal 18s.
Or 18 normal 18-year-olds.
The thing with it though was we looked at the pricing, and the thing is, if you had just gone for the 12, 15 and normal 18, the price for the flight was the same as the price for them standalone. So there was no sort of discount. Normally you would expect that when they bundle it together, it'd be a bit different. So at that stage, I would say you don't have to necessarily buy the flight. You could buy individually a dram at a time and then just go through it. But because they'd run out the 18, this was upgraded, and I think just a single measure of that was for 18 quid or something, wasn't it? Something stupid, but we got it all thrown in together for, was it the 3 of them for 25?
3 for 25.
Yeah.
Which was good. And yeah, the kind of the smoothest whiskey we had on the entire, to be honest, it was kind of like, I'm kind of glad that 18-year-old was a little bit outpriced and that they didn't have any others, because
you would have been picking it up.
They've also got the cheapest bottling, so you could pick up a 12-year-old for £38 a bottle.
Their whiskey was very smooth, easy to drink. It did have a slight, very, very slight smokiness to it, but probably the lowest smoke level on the island, I would say, based on the ones that we've tasted. But it was nice. It was really good. It's just a shame we had to have them quickly, didn't we? Because they were closing for a private event.
Following morning. Yeah. So a coachload of Taiwanese visitors were getting to the distillery the following morning, and they had to prepare everything because they'd exclusively booked out.
I think they were
at that point.
They were going for a full tour, tasting and food pairing in the area. So yeah, they were getting it ready for them.
If anyone doesn't know about the Taiwanese and whiskey,
I spoke to them. I asked them about it, but they said the funny thing was the last coach with Taiwanese that was supposed to come didn't come across because the ferry didn't run. So they closed early, set it all up, and then the people never got across to the island.
Yeah. And obviously we don't know about refund and all that in terms of ferry.
Oh,
We were quite lucky that we didn't have a ferry that was cancelled on us. So, yeah. So I'm going to get this Finlagen in the glass, mate. I think you've already done it, haven't you?
I haven't. You're still just the pixels at the moment, mate. You haven't come back. I can't really see you. So this is the Finlagen IPA. So that's the Finlagen IPA. This is Isla Ale's flagship beer, I would say. And also, just reading on the front, our most highly hopped beer. So if the other one was a nice, smooth stone fruit, I'm wondering what this one's going to impart. So this one's going to go in my Origin series glass.
I don't know if that's any better. StreamYard's just taking dicky fits at the moment. So I'm just having to put up with it.
There we go. Oh, just give me a second.
Someone's knocking on your door. Someone is ringing the bell. So I kind of, if I'm still pixelated, I don't know. Looks very good in the glass. Very good head. Carbonation looks well. I already got kind of like a whiff of the scent on the opening of the can, but yeah, it's like a citra bomb. So melon, lemon, either apricot, peach, maybe even like a little bit of papaya in there.
Sorry. This is in my fine ales glass. Luke has one as well.
Mine is also in the Origins glass as well, so
I can't tell.
at least with
The
this
picture's
one,
frozen.
should be all right. Everyone in chat's just saying, don't listen to him, Luke. He likes the sound of his own voice. I know he does.
Oh.
But yeah, this one's is smelling quite welcoming, to be honest.
I've already gone in for a sip. Sorry. Even though they say it's most heavily hopped, again, they have gone with, I'm assuming, New World. They got like New Zealand or something, or no, just American hops. Okay. But
it's a little bit drier, so they've dry hopped it. I reckon that's probably cold fermented, then dry hopped.
I prefer the other one.
Yeah,
I feel that again. Yeah, you're right. It's got a dry finish, but it's very similar with the hop, but the hop level just doesn't seem as much to me. Just although it says the most heavily hopped one, it just doesn't feel as hoppy. Or I mean, the hops aren't giving off much of the flavour overall. But then again, it depends when the can is. Best before. Oh, it's good for the moment. That's
anything about,
yeah.
I don't know if it says anything about cold fermenting or anything like that.
No. I prefer
just tropical fruit, blueberry notes, no blueberry. Floral nose. Yeah, I was getting that dry, crisp finish. It's definitely dry, it's definitely crisp, but it's kind of got that definitely the dry hopped.
Let's see if they say anything. Yeah, it's not as good. Part of me's thinking now, oh damn it, we should have gone for Finlagen first, and then could have ended with the lovely Lockendal and enjoyed it. But Oh
Well,
well.
Finlagan was also the name of the ferry, first ferry over to the island.
But it's named after is it the little nature area on Isla, is it?
Yeah, so there's a body of water there called Finlagan,
Okay.
and there's now a nature reserve, and you can go and visit it and bird watch and all that type of good stuff.
All that good stuff. But yeah, not as enjoyable as the Lockendale. Still a good beer, but just I prefer the Lockendale just because it was a softer and more tropical stone fruit flavors than this. So
I want to say hello to this person, but I'm not going to use the first name just in case they don't want it to be done. So I'm like, hi, are we there yet? To be honest, we said that a few times on the way. I mean, it took us, 8 hours? Obviously, we stopped twice on the way. But with Old Military Road block, I think it was around 7 hours and 3/4 to get to Tarbert.
Yeah, the main road was closed for emergency repairs because there'd been a bit, was it a landslide or something there? So Old Military Road was opened, which isn't generally open, but it meant you had to join a big queue and sit and wait, and then you got to go. But I mean, going down Old Military Road was amazing. The views from that was brilliant. And then on the way back, we stopped at the point right at the top of Old Military Road on the other end, which is called
Rest and be thankful.
Yeah, Rest and Be Thankful, which had a proper burger van place there, didn't it?
Cheeseburger with fried onions for breakfast. Yes, please. I'm all
went
for that.
I went bacon and brie because I'm posh. But he had an amazing view where he's just looking out across the valleys there. And then behind him was the mountains, which had some snow on the top of them at the peaks. So that was interesting and good.
We thought it was something else at first, but
no. We said you were going to add to it at that stage if you were going to go skiing down it.
Eric, how you doing, mate? Oh, sorry, Thomas Metal. Hope you're well, mate. Long time no see. Long time no speak. Yeah, hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're keeping up to the whiskey game. Obviously, I hope you haven't drank as much whiskey as we did last week, but that's another story. And actually, we missed out the very first day when we were travelling up in Annandale.
Yeah, we didn't. We briefly touched upon it. I think when we were, or no, that was earlier. I don't remember. But yeah, we didn't touch upon that, did we? So we made our way across. It was 2 hours, wasn't it? And then we arrived there again before they opened because that's how early we were getting there. Went to the cafe for breakfast, which I think you were booked in for. Had you pre-booked and reserved a table?
Yeah.
And
I pre-booked the table. I seen the reviews on their breakfast, and oh my word, what a breakfast that we could not even see. I'm getting happy now. I'm talking about breakfast and food. I'm like, oh, bacon steak. Yeah, I'm rubbing my knees. Oh yeah, boy. Lovely bacon steak, haggis, lawn sausage. Oh, it was great. My egg was running.
Potato tatty or cake as well.
Tatty scone, beans, a little bit of watercress and arugula on top. Lovely. I really enjoyed it. And for £12.50 as well.
I couldn't finish it. No one finished it at all. I think Dave was the closest, wasn't it? He didn't eat the toast because it was quite
audience member.
Yeah, but I mean, none of us could finish it. It was just it didn't look massive in a sense, but when you've got bacon steak and you've got that looking at you and you're cutting it and you're like, oh my god, it was beautiful tasting, but just not possible to eat that much.
And I couldn't do much because I've got this balloon in my stomach. I was like, oh, get out now. Get out, pop. Pop, you bastard. Oh.
You wanted to eat all of ours at that stage, isn't it? You're like, oh, don't worry, guys, I've got this. I've got this.
I tell you so, once this balloon comes out, I'm heading straight back to Annandale. I'm going to finish that breakfast because that was what a breakfast that was.
It was because it was bacon steak. Everything I think was oven cooked or grilled, not actually fried. So I felt it was good. I enjoyed it. The Annandale tour was how much did the tour cost for Annandale?
£25.
Okay, so it came with 5 drams, 6 including the one in the shop afterwards as well. But it came with 5 drams. We couldn't really get much footage in there because it's the case of you couldn't really take many pictures or anything. You start at the bottom area and it gives a bit of the history and shows you some pictures and gives you a dram to drink. Then you walk up the stairs and you're with, the distillery area. But because it was in production, you can't really take pictures beyond a certain point. And then after that, they take you down to the warehouse, which again, you're not allowed to take pictures inside because they say, the fumes in the air. I don't know what they think is going to happen, but yeah, so we couldn't take any pictures or anything in there. So, and then we had the drams, which, Luke, have you recorded a video on the drams or you still got them?
No, I've still, that's my plan for tomorrow, to record a Annandale, basically.
So you had swords and words, wasn't it? So it'll be interesting to see what you think on it. I felt the peated ones definitely would give quite a few of the other peated ones a run for its money. Yeah.
It was like a gammon steak, Eric. Like a nice big thick of just juicy. I've got a hard on talking about it.
God.
For anybody who doesn't know, I'm a proper foodie before this beer whiskey stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's memories.
Wanky, that's what you are right now.
Yeah, my wee willy winky's wanky, yeah. Like,
but Annandale, I mean, 5 whiskeys, 6 whiskeys. So on the tour, it's 5 whiskeys plus the tour. So the price at £5 a dram. They were cask strength because they put their stuff in quite strong to the bottles, don't they? And I don't think they don't reduce them. They're all, that's the strength. That's it. It goes into the cask and then it's brought down to whatever it is and they bottle it at that. It was, again, it's a modern distillery. The area around it was really nice. It's okay, but I don't think there's any other way for you to do tastings beyond that, is there? You have to go on the tour. I don't know if they do the drams that you can just do a flight in the restaurant.
I'm hoping it doesn't echo. No, you can only do it on a tour.
Yeah.
You only do the one tour and the same drums, so
yeah.
I'm just getting this. I just have to show the fine people mate the breakfast because
okay, he's getting his breakfast up.
I'm getting my haggis at the ready. I'm just thinking, bloody hell, how many breakfasts did we have? But
that Annandale
every day,
and then we had breakfast at the place with the coffee on the Sunday, and then there we go.
So this was Annandale's breakfast.
You can't even see your bacon properly because the egg's covering, like, there's 2 parts to it there, isn't it, where it's come apart, but that is, a big piece of bacon there.
then you've got the lawn sausage, that big round thing there. That's haggis, which was that thing was just delicious. The tatty scone, or the tatty scone, which is basically just like a potato bread.
Yeah.
Is underneath the egg there, obviously baked beans, and served with a classic iron brew.
No, you had an apple juice as well.
And apple juice and some Gloucestershire butter on my toast.
Yeah, that famous Scottish Gloucestershire butter.
Yeah, it was great. Your wee Willy Wanky. Yeah. I had a coffee that morning. I couldn't think straight for the rest of the day.
You enjoyed it. I know you did.
You're looking a little tiddled there, Luke John. Well, I'm always a bit tiddled.
Oh.
You probably can, Jim. The funny thing is, and I mentioned it earlier, once you get past Glasgow, no McDonald's, no KFC, no Subway, no fast food places. And you know what? We didn't miss them. We did not miss any of those at all for the entire week.
That's because you had the Taj Mahal to welcome you.
We had the Taj Mahal. So the Taj Mahal, it's like Indian restaurants that are all just called the Taj Mahal, as if like Scottish people weren't really clued up on Maharaja or Manjaro or any, kind of any of those like Akbars or things like that. They're like northern. They're kind of like Taj Mahal. That'll do. And the Chinese were like Golden Dragon. I mean, it was bizarre, but kind of said everything you needed to know, didn't it?
Yeah.
There's your Taj Mahal, there's your Golden Dragon, and there's your salty dog calf.
Calf, yeah.
Loch Gilphead, if anybody wants to know them three. The Taj Mahal there was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was good.
And
it was bring your own drinks, so we brought drinks from Fine Ales. I don't think you two enjoyed your cans from Fine Ales. I chose a different one, but yeah.
I mean, where do we go with that one? Rapper Cameron round. Don't call me David Cameron. Wait. I don't think haggis is legal in the US. No, I don't think you can have it. I think haggis is.
Yeah.
However, you can make haggis at home if you like.
Yeah, I was going to say you'd be able to make it in the US, but unless there's a producer making it out there, but you can't import it from. Well, UK isn't able to export it, are they, to US?
It's kind of how we can only say Mr. Brains instead of that other word because we're not allowed to use it.
Well, you can say it if you want.
Haggis. See, I pronounced my H there all right, didn't I? Haggis.
Yeah. Agates.
Agates. Who the hell is agates? Yeah, haggis is fantastic. I mean, we had it the first day, the third day, the fifth day. I had it on the seventh day when we were at the B&B. You never. I did.
No, I skipped breakfast. Yeah, I went for a walk around town. It was beautiful weather. Again, I'm going to put a video up of that. I just went round and took footage around it all. It was beautiful down there.
Hold on, first, third, fifth, and seventh. So every other day, I had haggis.
I had. I'm trying to think. No, on day 2, I got from your Geordie cousin. I got, I think, a black pudding bap, or what do you call it? You don't call it a bap. You call it a bun. A bun. Yeah. A bun.
I'm your Geordie cousin. What?
You knew him, yeah.
So the term is fag and Scots, Eric.
Yes.
We're not actually able to say it because even though it's branded and all, Mr. Brains's boxes, they're actually very delicious. Kind of like meatballs, but very meaty and a bit more gamier. Yeah. But YouTube just doesn't like it. So when people do cooking videos, it usually gets struck by YouTube police saying, "You can't have that there." And they're like, "It's a bloody food." That kind of it.
I've never even paid attention to that. Never even looked and thought, "Oh, that's been censored." But yeah,
Yeah.
I think on whiskey wise, we were talking about. We left Isla and got the ferry across to Campbelltown, didn't we? And
Yeah.
that first day, we didn't do any distilleries. We done beer, didn't we? We went to a few of the pubs in town, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we needed a little. Yeah, I think we needed a little break from the whiskey because at that point, I think we had something like. Well, I know I had over 50 grams of whiskey. The Saturday to the Wednesday, so definitely Thursday I needed a day off.
The Wednesday was the heaviest day because we had 5, and then we had 3, but you had a 4th.
I had a 4th, and then we did our live production.
The Kalila, not Kalila, the
Kilorman.
Yeah, the stages of whiskey. So we've done that as well. So we finished off with them, and they were all. I mean, most of the stuff we had was higher ABV cask strength stuff as well. But yeah.
On a Monday,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but none on the Saturday. But yeah, it was bad weather that day, so we didn't really do anything. We went to it was a long drive again, so we're up early. Not a long drive, we were up early to get the ferry, weren't we?
Mm.
And we drove into town, went to get breakfast at a cafe there. Was it the Bluebell?
The Bluebell Cafe, yeah.
Yeah. So that was nice. Proper cafe. On looking out over the harbour. And then we hit up went to some of the shops, then we hit up the pubs there, and then we checked in, then we went back out to some pubs, got some food, went home, hit the sack.
Yeah, if anyone's travelling to Campbelltown, highly recommend the Hall B&B. That's where we stayed. It is a little outdated, but it's in keeping with the building.
Oh, no, I think the style's perfect for what it is. I think.
Yeah, it was, but it was fresh baked goods each day. We had fantastic brownies and chocolate cake and
Victoria sponge and things like that, wasn't it?
Victoria sponge and oats and stuff like that, all freshly made. So that was great. The breakfast was good. The beds were, I mean, my bed was comfort. I had a bloody king size bed. I was happy.
And they gave us a breakfast to go on the last day as well. You told them they had it ready for us, packed to go in the morning, wasn't it? Because we were leaving early on that last day.
Yeah, the last day we just want to get home. We're seeing it like it took almost 8 hours to get there, so we kind of like let's just get back.
It was a long
so we
journey.
left early.
We were further south, weren't we, at that stage? But we're skipping something. You can't jump to the last day. We're missing something.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
One more distillery.
I mean, Springfield.
Springfield.
I was trying to say Jim. Yeah, Jim. It's basically oats, and then the offal is like liver, heart, lungs of a sheep. At that point, but no blood. So the blood's reserved for Blackburn. And white pudding is black pudding without the blood, basically. So
white pudding is
if you
lovely.
see those, recently got a wicked bottle of Glendronach 12. That'd be nice. I mean, we've actually got. I would think. Well, we'll mention it after this bit. After we mention Springfield's Brokeback
Spring.
Bar.
Springfield, what do you like?
So yeah, Springbank. The Friday before we came back, last full day. We can't actually on the morning. We went out and we went around the coast, and we just had a nice, relaxing, just chilled out, sat on some rocks, watching the waves.
We would have gone to the pub and probably had lunch and a dram or two there, but it wasn't open to non-visitors till 4 p.m. So yeah.
But before we got down to that, we were just sat on the beach, on the rocks, and just taking in some epic views of what Kintyre and the Mull of Kintyre had at that point, because we could actually see the Mull of Kintyre further down. But yeah, it was. It's kind of like what I was saying earlier about we wanted to get round everything, because it's like, as most people do when you go to Isla, you want to hit them all because you never know if you're going to go back.
Yeah.
So we tried to hit up as many, and actually, it kind of ruined the pleasure of really taking everything in. I mean, there were some days we spent more time in the car than anything else, and that was. I mean, the driver was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I can drive." Yeah, well, I'm sat in the car. And I'm
the way to look at
it.
Day one was nearly 8 hours to get there, but we stopped for Annandale, and then we had a break by the Duck Inn, and then we made our way all the way there, didn't we?
Yeah, duck beer without the ducks.
Yep. And then the next day, it was Sunday, and he drove literally all the way back to Old Military Road so we could go to Fine Ales, wasn't it? So that was a long trip as well. And then we had a stop at your favourite place.
I've actually got his mileage.
Yeah.
Calculated his mileage for us. So in the days that we did, Saturday to the Saturday driving, we did 1,094 miles in the car.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? It bloody felt it as well. Over 1,000 miles.
To put in perspective, isn't it? Like on that last day, heading back to Thornaby is over 300 miles from Campbelltown.
Yeah. So from where I am to Campbelltown is over 300 miles, which is 6.5 to 7 hours driving time if you don't hit any traffic whatsoever.
Precisely, not taking into account traffic, yeah.
But yeah, there's 8 hours away. But we have a much bigger island than people give us credit for at times. But
the thing is, the ferries weren't running as well that we could have jumped on to cut out a bit of drive.
I'm just saying cheers to Bumpy. Got some bourbon going. Enjoy the warm spring day. Cool. Awesome. What type of bourbon is it, Bumpy? Shut up, Sharky.
Yeah, sure.
I do that a day, just going to work. No. What it is for you, Sharky, is it feels like 1,000 miles, but it's really 3 miles. But it still took you 8 hours.
Yeah, because he drives so slow.
Well, welcome to California.
But yeah, so second last day was Springbank, wasn't it? And we had a flight of 6 whiskies there. You put those videos up over the last few days, haven't you? So you've got the whiskey tasting for 8 whiskies. Sorry, I'm trying to count there. So 6 on the core plus 2 extra afterwards. I mean, it's hit and miss with those. There were a few surprises, wasn't it? But I mean, go check out what's been posted on it. And then on the way back, we did detour slightly, didn't we? Checked that the driver was okay with it. We did detour, didn't we, to go to a food festival for the foodie here. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually went to a food festival and we ended up just getting beer. No food.
I seen the beer stand. You went off filming something or another, and I seen a beer stand, and I just got in line. I said, "There's a queue." I just do what every British person does. You see a queue, you just join it.
Yeah,
queue politely, get some beer. Couldn't find where Luke was, so I finished my beer before I went to find him, and then went to Three Brothers afterwards as well to get some of their beer.
Yeah, which weren't particularly great, but
I had the cask one, so mine was actually okay. It was just a traditional golden ale, but I mean, it was nice. Yours, because it was keg lager and everyone was going for it, I don't know if it was like, I mean, storage and moving it around. Yeah.
Did the director survive? Well, director was supposed to be in the chats this evening, but I think he's still worn out. I mean,
he was knackered. He was knackered.
Over 1,000 miles in a week is a lot of driving.
Yeah,
but
early starts as well, wasn't it? So is he an early morning person?
No, actually, I think director's here. He is here. Director has turned up. That man celebrating you, kid. Why aren't you in chat?
I'm busy at the minute.
He's busy.
Hello, Liam.
Luke's frozen, so no one can see director. If he comes on screen, he's not seen.
He won't be on. He won't be on screen. He won't be on screen.
Yeah, but cheers to director. You didn't get to put some of the footage up, but are you going to put that separately or something? The drone shots.
Yeah, I'll probably chuck well, I've got some of the drone shots in my 3-day vlog that I'm doing. Oh, Lagavulin 8, 52.50, same price as the Kalila 12-year-old. He's just showed me whiskey to buy. Oh, Balmore 12-year-old, £33 in Tesco.
Ooh, options. Can you find the 18-year-old anywhere?
Of course. No, Liam. You've got a wife.
No, I meant the whiskey. I'm just looking to see. So House of Malts is charging 105. Master of Malts 105.
Simon, dickhead. Get the hamsters to run quicker. You're in that shite. It's StreamYard, Simo. StreamYard. I've got 4-bar there, 5-bar on my 5G. And StreamYard kicked me out twice. So, 3 times it's kicked me out.
Bad workman always blames the tools. I blame you.
Hedonism. Hedonism's a good independent bottler. Yeah, £99.90 for the 18-year-old.
See, look at this. So I'm just looking at price history for the 18-year-old, and on Amazon right now they're charging 111 for it, but the actual typical price is about 90 quid, with sometimes it being on offer down to 82 quid. But I'm guessing it's because it's the limit, stock's running low, isn't it? Well, they're not releasing the stock.
Shop for Whiskey currently has it on for £93.
Yeah, you can find it cheaper elsewhere. I was just looking through, you can see the history on Amazon. So I was looking for the price history. So generally, you'd be getting it for 90, but they're charging 20 quid extra because I don't know if they're restricting stock for a reason until the festival, or if it's
They probably are. They probably want to sell quite a bit.
they probably didn't sell enough of the, they probably didn't sell enough of the 18-year-old festival last year. So what they're looking to do is try and just sell whatever fest one they create this year, and by holding off on the actual 18-year, they can push that. Can't they?
The one thing they'll do is they'll create less bottles this year going on last year's ticket, so sales of last year's bottles. So they'll create less this year, which means there'll be more demand for it, which means a higher price that consumers will have to pay. Very clever, but the whiskey industry does that quite a lot. So
yeah,
we were just saying about your 1,000-mile jaunt around. Yeah, he's still not over it.
On the van today.
Oh, he was back driving today. It took him a week. It took him a week to get over it.
You know, I'm on the van today. Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough. So I don't know if Liam's frozen now or he's just reading up on something.
I'm reading something. Sorry, that's what it was. I was looking down and reading something. Yeah.
Make it clear, Liam.
I'm good at staying very still, aren't I?
You're too bloody good. Same as me, mate. I can talk like this, even without moving my lips. So it's like
you're just stuck on a big smile like this. Hey.
That's just me. I've had quite a few now, so.
That's what that smile was. That was when you were talking about the breakfast. That smile was that exact moment when you were talking about your bacon and your square sausages and your haggis.
I know, because all the family's just got in, which means it's chicken curry time.
Ooh.
Homemade chicken curry time. Homemade chapatis. Yeah. That's what time it is for me.
He's talking about food. I'm thinking of food as well. But yeah, we've got a few
I just scheduled this for an hour and a half, which we've done. So
yeah. No, that's fine. I was thinking just to say we do have a few stuff we've got to put out, a few things we've got to still record because we got quite a bit of whiskey, didn't we, that we need to go through. And then we've got driver's drams that we've taken, and we also got some extra drams that we shared out some of the whiskies that we bought as well. So you've got some, I've got some. Yeah.
So I'm going to put you on the spot then and say, when's the first two videos expected out? Come on, Liam.
Next week. I'm aiming for one Tuesday, one Thursday. That's the aim.
One Tuesday, one Thursday.
Yeah. So it should be Tuesday is the well, no, actually, that was actually a different order. But yeah, there'll be one Tuesday, one Thursday. So it's going to be like Kalila, and then the Thursday is going to be the tasting.
You mean Bunham, not Kalila?
Yeah. No, first one's, sorry, Kalila tour thingy.
Yeah.
And then tasting. Yeah. Not Kalila tasting, yeah.
And then obviously the Boone and Harvin tasting that we did with the cask strength is going to be over on Liam's channel.
Yeah. Thursday. Don't hold me to it.
I will on to it. It's he needs a push in the right direction. So
I moved the videos from my phone to the computer. That's one step in the right direction. The funny thing is, I'm like, I could just leave this and do some editing, but it's not on this.
I reckon at this point, Liam's still hooked up to my Wi-Fi. That's why it's going belly up.
I'm hooked up to your Wi-Fi. I never even connected to your Wi-Fi. I used my own data the whole time. How dare you?
He did because he was butt texting the dog.
Oh yeah, butt texting. Yeah. How is Jess?
She's quiet.
Jess is calling me. Hello? Yeah.
Jess loves you, mate. You know that.
Oh.
So we're gonna end the stream there. So, but if anybody wants any details on traveling to Isla, or Campbelltown or
Speak to Luke.
the prices. We've got that, so you can just message either myself or Traveller and Brew.
Luke is
But
all
I'd
prices.
message Liam only if you want details for 2028 onwards, because that'll be about the time he gets back to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, just leave it below and I'll do it. But thank you all for joining. It's been great. It's been a good day. Happy birthday finally to Steve Lombardozzi, the fantastic baseball player for the
64?
Minnesota Twins.
How old is
Minnesota
he?
Twins. He's 64 today. So happy
birthday,
birthday.
Steve.
Hope you have a great one. Thank you all. Cheers and see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.